Hi, my name is Elio Aponte. I am a Venezuelan in exile. I just wanted to make a video to tell the American people, especially those who are thinking about voting for the Democratic Party. I'm coming from a country that is under socialism, a country that has been destroyed, a country which right now the minimum wage is $4 a month. $4 a month, people don't believe it. But you don't see those kind of news in the media here in the US. And I will tell you why. In Venezuela, around 20 years ago, 23 years ago, there was a guy named Hugo Chavez who was running for president. There was a lot of corruption at that time in Venezuela, and this guy started to offer free stuff for everybody. He offered free things, and everybody voted for him, believing that everything could be, a free thing, free health care, free things. A lot of freebies. That's what they call it here in the US, freebies. And people voted for him. But he deceived the people. As soon as he took power, Hugo Chavez, in 1999, he said that the Constitution of Venezuela was flawed. The Spanish came out. That is, the Constitution needed to be changed because it was flawed. And I remember a former president of the US, he said the same. About here in the US, he said that the Constitution was flawed. And he said the Constitution was flawed basically because a lot of slave owners, white supremacists, were the ones who wrote the Constitution of this country. So this country, the Constitution needs to be changed. A big change. And that's when I say, oh my God, I heard before that. But you know what? When this guy took power, he said, we have to take the guns away from the people to reduce violence, because violence is caused by guns. And the opposition party in Venezuela, which somehow is financed by the same government, they agree to take the guns away from the people. So they took away the guns from the people in Venezuela. But you know what happened? In Venezuela, there are some groups called colectivos. And those groups are the same like Antifa here in the US. These Antifa people. And you know what happened with Hugo Chavez? He took the guns away from the people and he gave the guns to the colectivos, to the Venezuelan Antifas. And the Venezuelan Antifas, which are the colectivos, went to the businesses and started destroying the businesses, looting the businesses. The business owner couldn't defend themselves. That's what I'm seeing in Portland right now. The same things. And also they went to the farms, these colectivos, and they expropriated the farms. So the people who used to produce, the meat, the food for Venezuela, they went out. They were their lands were taken away. They had to flee the country. But these people who took the farms, who took those things, they didn't produce anything. That's why in Venezuela right now there's no food, no water. The companies are being destroyed because they say we have to tax the big corporations. We have to tax them. That's the same thing I'm hearing here. And if you destroy the companies, if you destroy those who give jobs to the people, then you are going to have people depending on the government. That's what's happening in Venezuela right now. They have a thing called the clap box. They give you like rice, and they give you like oil, so you can cook whatever they want you to eat. And that's what they are doing. And the Antifa people, the collectivos, are the ones who are distributing that. And they created something like the fatherland ID. If you don't have the fatherland ID, you don't receive that box. So you have some kind of social behavior control. Amazing. I don't want that to happen here in the US. I'm making this video because I am seeing the same thing that happened in Venezuela 25 years ago. And you know, at that time in Venezuela, the Cubans who were in Venezuela, they kept telling us, hey, be careful, because this Hugo Chavez is doing the same thing that Fidel Castro did in Cuba. And we in Venezuela say, oh, no way. That could not be possible because, you know, Cuba was a small island. Venezuela is big. So nothing is going to happen here. You know what? Right now, Venezuela is destroyed. The country with the largest oil reserves in the world is destroyed and is controlled by a gang of criminals who are in the business of narcotics, selling drugs, you know, selling the gold under the table to Turkey and Iran, and he's putting you know, Iranians are in Venezuela, Hezbollah, they are giving them Venezuelan passports. These people didn't speak Spanish. Do you know those caravans from Central America that were coming here with immigrants? That's part of the plan. They are also part of this plan. The Venezuelan, they are deceiving all these poor people in Central America. They say, let's go to the US. You deserve to have free stuff. You deserve free healthcare. Come on, let's go. But you know what they do? They put those people from Hezbollah with these people from the Central America, and they don't even speak Spanish, but they have Venezuelan passports, and they're trying to take them to the US. And you know, there are a lot of tunnels from Mexico to the US, a lot of tunnels, and they also pass drugs through the tunnels, but not only drugs, they pass those criminals from Hezbollah with those Venezuelan passports. That's why Venezuelan people cannot have the TPX or any type of protection, because like a general protection, because the US cannot give the protection to these Hezbollah people with the Venezuelan passport. That's why people have to apply for asylum. And these Hezbollah people with Venezuelan passport, they are not going to apply for asylum because they don't even speak Spanish. So you know what is going on? So we have to think about what we are going to do in this November 3rd. Who are we going to vote for? Because, you know, this guy from the Democrats, the Democratic Party has been taken over by the left, and they are deceiving people. And the same thing is happening here than in Venezuela. You know, the media in Venezuela, they supported Hugo Chavez. They supported Hugo Chavez, and he won the elections because he deceived the people. He even deceived the politicians because he changed the Constitution. Don't allow here that to happen. Don't allow here to change this beautiful Constitution of the US, the best in the world, because it has never been changed. There are people who want to change it, but don't allow that. Don't allow to pack the Supreme Court. That's what Hugo Chavez did. After he took power, he packed the Supreme Court with his people. A lot of thugs with diplomas from low diplomas, he puts in the Supreme Court. Currently in Venezuela, the president of the Supreme Court in Venezuela was a guy who was convicted by murder. The policemen in Venezuela, they were taken over by the Antifa. The policemen in Venezuela are in jail. The people in the April 11, 2002, the Venezuelan policemen from the Metropolitan Police protected the people of Venezuela from those guns, from those people of Antifa. Among those Antifa of the Puente Llaguno bridge, where one of the guys who was shooting the people and the policemen was Nicolas Maduro, the guy who is president right now. And those policemen who were protecting the people of Venezuela, they are in jail 30 years. 30 years in jail. People don't know that here in the US because the media here is complicit with what's going on with this agenda. to have open borders so this guy can come, so these terrorists can come easily to the US. They can do human trafficking without any type of problem. Please, I beg the US people, this is a beautiful country. People are beautiful. They have such a good heart. You couldn't be deceived by the way we Venezuelans were deceived 20 years ago. Because if you allow that to happen in the US, if you vote for Democrat, a party that has been taken over by the leftists, there is nowhere to go. There is nowhere to go in the world. This is the last resort. So please, even though you may not like Trump, I understand, because the media from day one, and even before he got elected, they started to misrepresent him. They started to change everything he did. They deceived people. For example, Trump, it is a lie that he said the immigrants are animals, that are criminals. It's a lie. He was talking about MS-13 from Salvador and those gangs people. Those are the savages who are coming here to the US to commit crimes. And those sanctuary cities, they allow them to be free. The borders need to be protected. You need to protect your country. You need to protect the values on which this country was founded. Please, do not vote Democrat. If you don't like Trump, don't worry. You don't have to like him. You have to see what he's doing. He promised everything. He promised a lot of things that he has fulfilled. So I have no other words to say. I don't want the US to be another Venezuela. I don't have anywhere to go. And you won't have anywhere to go. Please, don't make that big mistake that we Venezuelans did in the year 1999. Please, 1998 was the elections in Venezuela. Don't do that on November 3rd. You have to go and vote. Tell your friends. Take this video and make it viral, because the US people are very good. They have a good heart, and they don't deserve to be deceived by these extremists, by these left-wing radicals, that they don't love the US. They don't love it. Please, don't make that mistake. Don't make the mistake we did in Venezuela. Thank you. Have a nice day.